Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2 Episode 4 Anime Review. This episode focused mainly on Yuki again and also Haru. They did that thing again where they take a character that I thought was just fine, you know, whatever, in Haru, and then by the end of it I was like, man, I care about what happens to you. I hope everything works out. We also got introduced to Rin, who I'm assuming is the last Zodiac. I think she's the horse in the opening, so that sort of gives it away. What can you do? The opening's a bop, by the way. There's a lot of walking. Really like the walking. You know, I might have mentioned that before. Walking is good. But no, this was a good week's episode. It had things on all sides. We had Haru, but then also Yuki and Kyo had little bits of quiet, thought as well, and that was good. That was some of my favourite parts actually. Anyway, let's jump into the episode, see how it all went down and everything. Let's do this. We open up with Haru, who from now on I will just call Haru because it's shorter and words are easy and all that. He goes to see the girl called Rin in the hospital. I don't think we've seen her properly before this. I could be wrong on that, but I can't remember. So, she's there and she basically says, "Hey, tired of you, had enough of you, Haru." And I was like, oh, that's not good. Later on we find out, more about it, which we'll get to when we get to. But yeah, then, I guess the next day, it's probably the next day, Momoji comes running to Toru's class, basically say, it's an emergency, there's bad things that have happened, I need your help. But he gets a bit distracted because Toru and Ko planning their school trip. Wouldn't you know it, guys, that all the main characters, or important characters, ended up in the same group for their school trip? I know, I can't believe it either. What are the chances of that, Impossible chances. Kyo gets mad because he's Kyo, and Yuki's in this group, so he's like, no, don't want to, and everything. Uo and Momoji tease him a bit and everything. Yuki's just outside the door. That's another thing about this episode, like throughout it, Yuki keeps giving Kyo glances. He's like, you like Toru, and I know you like Toru, and you're making me jealous, but I don't know if I like Toru yet, or something. It's really clever how subtle it is. I really like it. But yeah, Uo was almost really sweet to Kyo, and I say almost because, I mean, it was just riling him up in the end, but it was still nice. Yuki shows up, as I said, and Momoji then tells them all, hey, so Haru's gone into his dark form, and he's rampaging about the classroom, so can we get some help with that, please? They go to see what's up with that. Specifically, Toru, Yuki, and Kyo go with Momoji. They don't invite the other two. Oh, they might have been invited. I have no idea. But they go see what's up. He's in the room throwing things and acting basically like a cool guy, but like what a 12-year-old thinks a cool guy looks like, I guess. Which is sort of the point, I guess. He's riling everyone up. He says, hey, Yuki, stop trying to act cool. Let's let everyone know about the animal thing. And then he goes to try and hug Toru. Kyo doesn't take that kindly. He proper punches him. He's like, you stay off Toru, alright? You do not do that. And then he's like, right, let's fight, my dude. And then he's like, oh, you got to look cool for her. Which, I guess, in hindsight, he's taking it out on them. Because, he had a waifu once. But then now he does, and then seeing them all getting all buddy, it probably riles him up, I get that a lot. It's sort of jealousy in a way. But yeah, Kyo punch. Then a sensei, who I think we saw at the end of last season briefly for a bit, she drops water on their head to calm them down, both Kyo and Haru, before they got into a full-on fist fight, because that is definitely where they were going. And then she takes Haru away, basically to get an earful from the teacher, basically saying, hey, you can't throw desks about and break windows. That's not a thing most schools allow. Mine definitely didn't allow that. I don't think much of that happened. Trying to think of a story where that did happen. Can't think of one. So that's how little it actually happened. The others briefly talk about how they have no idea why he could have gone dark and everything, and then Yuki follows Haru while he's going off to wait for his mum or whatever, because she's going to take a while, so Yuki goes to follow him to see what's up, basically. Kyo tells Toru, don't go near Dark Haru, because he's he's concerned and he's worried, but he's also a massive tsundere, so he can't say that I'm worried. And Momoji teases him as well, and it's very funny because he's Kyo. Haru says to Yuki, hey, you should call her Toru as well. And Yuki gets all annoyed, and he's like, let's not talk about me, we're talking about you here. You should think about yourself more and stop being so nice. And Yuki's like, I only care about myself because I'm a bad person. And he's all like, well, you came after me, so you can't only care about yourself. And it's like, ooh, reverse. You got, you know, countered your argument. Your argument was false, Yuki. And then, yeah, then he straight up tells him about Rin. He's like, yeah, Rin dumped me. And he's like, yeah, they were actually a thing. It wasn't like a different, you know, when I saw the title of the episode, I was like, it's not as obvious as that. It's not as simple, but it was, and it was. Feel a bit bad for him, you know. Feel really bad for him. The whole thing was a secret because, I mean, Akito probably would have flipped out like he did on Kisa that one time. So yeah, it's good that that he. I mean, it's good that he kept it. I mean, it was the only thing he could do. He's not told anyone. Except Yuki is the first one that he is told. Basically, she got into an accident or something. Don't think we actually know what, you know, ended up getting her in the hospital. I'm sure we will learn in due time. Unless I've forgotten. I think I would have remembered that, so I don't think we know yet. Hey, but throughout all this, Haru still loves her, and it's really like, oh, you know, I feel for him. I feel for old Haru. I'm rooting for you, bud. Really, really, I'm rooting for you. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's going to do now other than get yelled at for breaking the windows, which that was a funny bit. I like the little bit of comedy they put in there with him being not oblivious, but you know, he answers pretty much, hey, here's what's going to happen next. It was a good thing. Then we have a brief bit, but just before we get to the little bit after the end, brief bit with Kyo training in the dojo, looking at the bracelet. Basically feeling a bit like a hypocrite because he told Toru, hey, Haru's dangerous. And then he smacked her that one time when he was a Charizard. So he feels a bit, you know, that's a bit not good. Then Haru, later on at night, goes to the hospital, doesn't go in the room, but she's not in the room. So, you know, that's... Where did she go? The next day, I guess, more school trip planning with the gang. They do that for a bit. Then Momoji shows up again, and I thought that I was watching a loop because he's like, hey, emergency, big trouble. Haru's been suspected. I'm like, oh my god, was there a murder? Is that where we're going? No, Momoji just got the word wrong. The word is suspended. Yeah, Haru got suspended. Because of course he did. He smashed a bunch of windows. Yuki then, on the way home, tells Toru, has a little think. He's like, I'm going to go see Haru, which translates to, I need to face my fear of the estate. So I'm going to use this as an excuse to go there. So that's what he does. Goes there. Toru tells Shigure, hey, Yuki's gone to the estate. And Shigure pulls a face like, ah, I see. That sort of face. On the way to the estate, Yuki is having like little flashbacky memory thingies. And it's making him proper sick. And I'm like, man, you got fortitude to go through that. And he does. He enters the estate. He spots Rin going in the estate as well, first of all. He doesn't run into her again, but yeah, he goes in. Then there's this arsehole old woman who is like, yeah, you should go back to Akito. And I'm like, no, he shouldn't. I know what Yuki's been through. Stupid old woman. Is that a bit mean? She probably just doesn't know what she's on about, but I mean, she was acting like Yuki was a bad one for leaving. And I'm like, no, man. Yuki did the right thing. Yuki saved himself. So he's a good one. But yeah, then he goes to see Haru, who is doing what I think most teenagers would do if they got suspended. He's sitting around, he's playing Final Fantasy, he's got stuff strewn everywhere. He's living the best life. He's living the life everyone's living in these trying times at the moment, just sitting around the house and doing nothing important, basically. Yeah, when he comes in, he takes a selfie with Yuki. They talk for a bit. Really thing I liked, don't know why I like this, but it's a bit of a, you know, they're besties. His characters in Final Fantasy were like, it might not have been Final Fantasy, it looked like it. They were named after himself and Kyo and Yuki. I was like, that's a nice one, that's a nice thing they're doing there. But yeah, then Yuki tells him he saw Rin. He's like, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I can't give up on her yet. And I'm like, you know what? That's admirable considering you didn't even get a reason, you know? What the why he got dumped is the interesting thing. I'm honestly leaning towards it was more a thing to protect him, maybe. Not I know that's a bit of a, you know, it's a very early statement to say considering we don't know a lot about Rin yet, but I don't know, it could be anything. We'll have to see. I hope that works out for him though, because if it doesn't, I will feel sad. And I don't want to feel sad, I want to feel happy. But yeah, then Yuki leaves because he's like, well, I came to cheer you up, but you don't need cheering up, so I'm off. And then once again, he's like, hey, call her Toru, for God's sake. And Yuki's like, no, it's too embarrassing. And it's like, all right, Yuki, come on, be a good guy. And then at home, Toru's waiting for Yuki. She's like wrapped his food in like this little net thing, or that's what I'm assuming she did. And then Shigeru's like, I'm hungry. But then he saw her, he was like, you know what, I can wait, you know. Shigure just being a good guy. Yuki leaves the estate, and as he leaves, someone spots him leaving the estate. It's Rin. She's standing there posing in like sort of punky clothes. It was fine, you know. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. That was good. I enjoyed it a lot, if you couldn't tell. Really looking forward to more Haru and Rin. Hopefully we get more on her, because there's got to be a reason. There better be a good reason. I feel bad for Haru now. So now, Rin, you better be... I mean, I liked all the animals, all the Zodiac animals so far. So, I mean... No, I'll like Rin as well. I'm not even going to pretend that I won't end up liking her. I like them all. So, looking forward to that. It's all going to come together, man. This is one of them things where it's like every episode is like an individual piece, and by the end, it's going to all come together, and I'm going to be an emotional wreck, but in a good way. So there's that. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out immensely. I don't think this has been delayed yet, obviously, with everything going on. That can happen anytime. Don't think it's happened for Fruits Basket yet, which is a good thing. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.